Hi everyone, we are from Group 4. Today, we are going to present SQIT3063 data mining. Our project title is Forecasting the Consumption of Natural Gas in United States from 1963 until 1989. So this research consists of 5 chapters. In this presentation, we are focused on introduction, a background of the research. Next, we will proceed to the literature review on the issue, literature review on the techniques, methodology, output analysis, benefits and limitation of the research, and reference. Natural gas is a naturally occurring gaseous hydrocarbon mixture that forms better the surface of the Earth. The purpose of this study is to forecast natural gas consumption. The reason why we want to do that is due to the significance of natural gas and its volatile price change globally due to the few factors. This means that natural gas as a resource is very valuable in terms of profit generation and energy generation for a country. This is to ensure yearly consumption by the residential sector is in line with the forecast so that resources are optimally allocated for every sector. The first objective of the study is to identify various factors that influence the consumption of natural gas. The second is to develop 5 predictive models to forecast the consumption of natural gas. And the third one to evaluate the best predictive data mining models that are used in this research. The significance of the study is to identifying the best variables to take into consideration before looking at the most suitable predictive data mining models for the forecasting of natural gas consumption by the residential sectors. This study focused on the natural gas consumption with a range of years from 1963 to 1989. All the dataset is related to the United States, such as New York, Florida, Michigan, Texas, Utah, and California. The size of the dataset is 138 columns. The software used for our research is Orange and SPSS software. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Mariam and my matrix number is 279083. So now I'm going to explain about the literature review on issue. Natural gas can be defined as a mixture of light hydrocarbons. The benefit that natural gas provides to the variety of sectors, there are other factors that influence the demand and the consumption of natural gas as well. According to Belitsky in 2016, he studied the relationship between natural gas consumption and GDP, labor and capital using DOLS. So he found that the GDP, labor and capital have positive and statistically significant impact on the natural gas consumption. Now I'm going to explain the literature review on data mining techniques. So the first one is basically neural networks based on the previous study by Hafizi, a data mining based model to extract predictor factors in the energy system, which in an application of global natural gas demand by using genetic neural networks was developed. So next is going to be the decision tree based on the previous studies by Kewell B in 2021 titled Long-Term Natural Gas Consumption Forecasting based on analog method and fuzzy decision tree. So basically this is the energy intensity where the energy consumption per dollar of GDP and gas percentage in energy mix in some nation currently is going to be the multiple linear regression. So a study made by Guang in 2015 is to make prediction and find the influencing factor of natural gas consumption in China by using regression on SPSS. Study, they use the multiple linear regression technique to know the relationship of one dependent variable with 6 other independent variables. Last but not least is going to be the random forest technique. So a study was made by Thomas in 2021 is to predict the natural gas consumption. So the result obtained is that random forest is the best algorithm to predict the demand of natural gas as because the random forest has the lowest value of error. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
A very good day to daughter. I'm Dewi Masita binti Zaini will present about the methodology and analysis part for this study. For the methodology, let me give a brief about the dataset. The dataset includes 138 records with 10 attributes. In this dataset, there are 6 independent variables and 1 target variable. The independent variable consists of price, E-price, L-price, O-price, heating, and income, while the target variable is the consumption of natural gas. For the purpose of this study, we follow 4 steps, which is pre-processing to clean the data transformation for data normalization, model development, which develop 5 different models, and model comparison to pick which model is the best fit. In the analysis part, firstly, we will clean the dataset by doing the pre-processing, which indicate missing value and outliers. In the dataset, it consists of 26 missing value. To handle this, we use series mean to replace the incomplete value and regression if the missing value from target variable. For outliers, we use isolation forest to detect the outliers. In result, it shows 14 outliers, which we decide to delete the records that consist of outliers. Secondly, we transform the dataset to make the dataset is normal distribution. To do that, we change the value in the dataset into probability by using the log 10 and square root. After that, we will compare which value will give the normal distribution with the bell shape in the histogram chart. Next, in the model development, we use 5 different predictive models to do the prediction for this dataset. We use neural network with 1 hidden layer, neural network with 1000 hidden layer, decision tree, multiple linear regression, and random forest by using SPSS and Orange. Lastly, we make the comparison among the predictive model by comparing in terms of MSE, RMSE, MAE, and R-square. For the value of MSE, RMSE, and MAE, we need to find the lowest value to indicate the goodness of fit, as we would like to find the lowest error between actual value and estimate value. If we compare all models, the decision tree have the lowest MSE, RMSE, and MAE. At the same time, we also use R-square to see how much the target variable can be explained by the independent variable. The higher is the better. If we can see the value of 0.982, which is 98%, is the highest one that represent the value of R-square for decision tree model. In conclusion, decision tree is the best model for this dataset as it has lowest MSE, RMSE, MAE, and have the highest R-square. Thank you.
Hi Doctor, Vincent Bay with matrix number 279-018 here. Today I'll be talking about the conclusion and the references in our study. Now we will start with the conclusion of our study. It consists of the discussion, the contribution of the study, and the overall conclusion. So for the discussion, we ran predictions using the decision tree model on Orange, and we used the decision tree model because based on the findings on chapter 4, it is the best predictive model among the ones we developed. So as you can see on the table here, 2 rows of data were chosen from the test set where we compared the forecasted and actual consumption of natural gas, and among all the other models, the decision tree is indeed the closest to the actual consumption among all models. Now moving on to the contribution of the study. The first contribution is that we identified the factors that influence the consumption of natural gas, which are the states, heating degree days, real per capita personal income, and the price of natural gas, electricity, distillate oil fuel, and liquefied petroleum gas. Besides that, our research also helps further studies choose more suitable data mining techniques to develop their models. Finally, the study allowed others to learn from our research and from our findings. So for the overall conclusion, we identified the factors affecting the consumption of natural gas. We developed 5 predictive models. We used a 70:30 training to test set ratio, and we found that the decision tree model is the best predictive data mining model in this research. So before we end this presentation, we will briefly go through the references we have referred to in our study. So this is reference 1, this is reference 2, this is reference page 3, and this is reference page 4. So in total, we referred to 12 written works which mainly focused on data mining techniques and the consumption of natural gas. That will be all from me and our group. Thank you for listening.